Good afternoon. So, you've landed the contract. Now what? Walking into the building with your guitar, you may look like an entertainer. And more often than not, you're going to be mistaken for an entertainer. But it's the therapy that sets us apart. How can we best utilize the ability to provide multisensory stimuli, active music making, and meaningful engagement to not only strengthen our relationships within the community, but to ensure we keep that contract? I've been working with older adults in some capacity since 2007. Through the years, I've developed strategies that have helped foster relationships with my clients and their caregivers and within that community, as well as strengthen my therapeutic skills. These 4 essential strategies include setting yourself up for success, treating your clients with dignity, continuous assessment, and building rapport. I try to practice and promote each strategy every day as I work with older adults, and I hope that they will be as helpful to you as they have been for me. Number 1, setting yourself up for success. When it comes to this, sometimes there's situations that are unavoidable. For example, the only activity room in the building is shared with the nurses station. You're scheduled at the same time as bingo or Bible study. You start your session and everybody's given a snack and a drink. Clients are being pulled out of the group for other therapies, to take their medicine, to get a shower, to go to the podiatrist. Some of these situations we can address before we even step foot in the building, and others we adapt to in the moment. Regardless, it's how we handle each of these situations that continue to build stronger relationships within the communities we serve. Before you have your first session, share with the administrator or activities director what will make a successful group and how they can make the most of music therapy. What's your ideal room or setting to provide services? For me, it's going to be the room with the least amount of distractions. Try to avoid being by the front door, in front of or near the elevators, in the dining room if they're setting up or cleaning up after a meal. Share that it's important to remind staff and visitors to move away from the group if they're having a conversation, because it can be challenging for clients to ignore competing stimuli. Ask that your clients are gathered ahead of time and seated in a semicircle versus rows or around tables. This way you can have the space to move and assist your clients as needed, and also your clients have the ability to move, dance, play, and be more comfortable in that setting. Share that snacks can be challenging during the session, especially while you're playing instruments or providing a movement activity, and ask that they be shared afterwards. Ask for at least one staff member to help assist during your session. Not only do the staff know your clients, but if somebody needs help using the restroom or needs assistance if they become upset or agitated, this caregiver or staff member is there. It also provides a great opportunity for the staff to positively engage with your clients and celebrate their achievements and abilities versus focusing on their daily struggles and challenges. Once you've shared your how to make the most of a music therapy session, it's time to start services. In this moment, when you step foot into the building, it's important to take control of your group. If they're not sitting the way you would like, rearrange your clients, ask for help if needed. Move furniture if it's in your way or obstructing your view. Turn off the television or the radio if it's on nearby. Be aware of the temperature in the room, and if clients are sitting under an air vent or in front of a fan. Most likely, they're going to let you know if they're too warm or too cold. However, being aware of their surroundings will help you better assist them as the group goes on. In the moment, distractions can be detrimental to your group. I try to address these distractions as they happen and as best I can without disrupting the group further. I'd like to address these distractions before the group starts, but more often than not, they happen after we've begun. If staff are close by and they're continuing to talk loudly to one another, I politely ask if they can move to another area, and share it can be difficult for the clients to focus on what I'm saying and hearing the music. Be mindful that this can be a sensitive situation. Be sure to be polite, but also explain that you're trying to create the best environment for your clients to enjoy the music. Another crucial step in setting yourself up for success is to receive continuing education and training in dementia care. The Alzheimer's Association has caregiver trainings and training videos on their website, as well as the local chapters will host events in your area. Tipa Snow, who's well known in the dementia care field, has paid trainings as well as videos online you can access. And another thing is the communities in your area, not only the ones you serve, but maybe the ones you're looking to get into for a contract, they host different activities, different talks for professionals and caregivers. The more you know about what your clients and their caregivers are going through, the better you can understand where they're coming from and how to best serve them. Number 2, treating your clients with dignity. No matter who's in front of you, make sure you're treating each client with dignity, regardless of how advanced their disease is progressing or what behaviors they might be presenting. Ensure you're addressing them appropriately, do not talk down to them, and be sure to help them the best you can. We're there to facilitate a music therapy group, but we can also lead by example with how we interact with our clients and their caregivers. There have been moments in my session where a client needs assistance, using the restroom, a clothing malfunction, sliding down in their wheelchair, having an issue with their dentures. In these moments, I help and assist to my comfort level, and I get a staff member when needed. I maintain their dignity as best I can and be sure to be as discreet as possible to not alert the entire group to the issue at hand. These moments show staff and families that we truly care about the well-being and quality of life of our clients and are trying to do what is best for them. It's important to meet your clients in the moment, wherever that may be. If they wish you a Merry Christmas in July, respond happily, thank you, you too. If they're nervous and anxious because they need to pick up their children from school, let them know school's not out yet and they can share the music before they go. If they're waiting for their husband to come to visit, share with them that this is a good place to be and they can enjoy the music while they wait instead of wandering around looking for him. Most times, redirection to the music will be successful, if even for a few songs. The best way to continue to meet our clients where they are at is to let them guide you on how they're feeling, what they're experiencing, and really listen to what they're trying to say. It's also important to mention here that sometimes we can be the cause or trigger of a behavior because we're not willing to adapt to their needs in that moment. Due to their disease, it becomes increasingly challenging for them to adapt in that moment, and it's up to us to meet their needs with dignity, respect, and compassion. Number 3, continuous assessment. Make sure to connect with each individual within the group throughout your session. This can be done in a variety of ways and can be a great opportunity for a quick assessment of each individual, especially since you will most likely have different clients present from group to group. Each moment we spend with our clients should give us more information on how best to meet their needs individually as well as in the group setting. For me, I like doing this by starting with a hello song to greet each individual and ask how they're doing. I typically address each individual by their first name, whether it's a group I see twice a month or on a weekly basis. If remembering names is not one of your strengths, you could refer to a staff member and get a list of names and keep that for reference throughout the session. Or you could use name tags. I'd like to share I've had issues with name tags, clients not wanting to keep them on, taking them off, more focused on the name tag than what's in front of them. However, I know this has been a helpful tool for therapists. I've also gone around to each individual, said hello, asked how they're doing, without using their names. I find the responses are greatest when addressed by name, which is why I try to use names whenever possible. However, checking in and greeting each individual, with or without names, is the surest and sometimes the quickest way to gather information, assess their engagement level, and start building rapport. Other quick ways to assess in the moment include starting with a movement activity and engaging with each individual with the assistance of live or recorded movement, or starting with a playing activity and providing your clients choices of which instrument they'd like to play. I also find it helpful to make mental notes of clients' likes and dislikes, their instrument preferences. Do they have a favorite song or songs they don't care for? Who do they sit next to for both positive engagement as well as negative engagement? You want to be observant. This is important not only during your sessions, but from the moment you walk in the door. Are there any announcements posted? Someone's birthday, the passing of a client, an anniversary, a special event happening the day you're there? Is there a calendar theme you could incorporate into your session, or share a few songs from that theme if appropriate? All of these interactions and observations provide us with essential information that will help assist us as we facilitate each group and begin to build rapport with each individual throughout the community. And number 4, building rapport. Building rapport is one of the most powerful and effective tools to strengthen both your relationship with your clients as well as their caregivers and the people you're working for. When it comes to our clients, there are numerous ways to establish and continue to build rapport. You establish rapport from the moment you greet your clients and start the group. As the group progresses, rapport building techniques I use include recognizing a client who knows all the words to a particular song, or thanking them for their singing voice, highlighting or showcasing a movement someone's doing and encourage the group to join in, having the client help pass out or collect instruments, sensory materials, or songbooks. Not only does this provide that client with a sense of purpose, but it gives them a positive way to interact with their peers. Having a client taking turns leading the drum circle or playing a rhythm for everyone to join in. If a client's having a tough time during the group, ask if there's anything you can do to help. More often than not, they will say no, but regardless of their answer, I've found that they're grateful you took the time to listen and offer assistance. When you're encouraging and engaging meaningful discussion, take mental notes of personal information about your clients or keep a journal of memories from group to group. Did they play football in college? Were they in an orchestra? Do they come from a big city or a small town? These memories become helpful and invaluable when a client is struggling to remember or the answer's on the tip of their tongue. Building and maintaining strong rapport with your clients will also be of great help when they're upset or becoming agitated. You'll be able to comfort them and at times de-escalate a situation because of the foundation of that therapeutic relationship. Now, when it comes to staff, it can be a bit tricky at times to build rapport. With a high turnover rate due to caregiver burnout and a busy schedule, the staff can sometimes forget you're coming, schedule 2 activities at the same time, not that interested in what you're doing, or simply can't be of assistance in that moment. Whatever the case may be, it's still our job to continue to build those relationships the best we can and recognize what they're managing and handling on a day-to-day basis. Get to know the staff, from the receptionist at the front desk, to the care staff, to the housekeeping team, to the activities department, to the administrator. Make it a point to smile and say hello to everyone you come in contact with. If something went well during a session, be sure to share it with them. I try to email the activity director or administrator highlights from the group and share when something positive happens in the session. If I have time, I'll try to stop by their office afterwards to check in and share these accomplishments. Some highlights I've shared in the past include client songwriting, another client helping their peer, a client who's usually restless and wandering, but they were engaged for 2 to 3 songs. A client who's declined significantly, but he stood in front of the group dancing to James Brown while his peers cheered and clapped him on. A client who usually calls out or tosses instruments was able to be actively engaged in both singing and playing activities. Checking in during these moments will help foster the relationship and make it easier when you have to address challenges and issues within the group. At times it can be difficult to have staff engaged and included for the duration of the session, but I try my best to let them know that their help and assistance is valued and appreciated. I offer instruments to everyone who's attending the group, from family to friends to visitors to children. I encourage engagement with visitors in the group to their comfort level and thank them for joining us. Sometimes staff will sing or dance as they walk by, and I'll say to the group, y'all, our music is contagious. Keep up the good work. Not only does this put a smile on your client's face, but it lets the staff know that you appreciate their energy and enthusiasm. I make sure to thank staff who helped assist during a group. as well as if they've helped a client who's having a particularly difficult time in one way or another. If it's a group of clients I see regularly, I make sure to alert nursing if someone's exhibiting behaviors that are not normally present in our time together. Someone calling out, tearfulness, increased aggression, or more lethargic than normal. I also try to focus on building rapport with family members and visitors. If they come by when the group is ended, I share a few highlights and let them know how their loved one was engaged. If it's a family member or visitor I see regularly, I make sure to take a few moments to let them know how their loved one's doing that day. Many times, our clients' care partners only receive information when something significant has happened or something's gone wrong. I think it's extremely important and part of our job to share these successes and accomplishments during music therapy sessions. Not only do you build rapport with those care partners, but you give them peace of mind that their loved one is enjoying and contributing to a shared music experience. Each one of these strategies are essential to strengthening your relationship with the communities you serve. These strategies have been invaluable to me in my career as I've worked with older adults and their caregivers, and I hope they will do the same for you. Thank you.